Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining me today as we meet the team, Lemon Tree Lions. The Meet the Team and the BCL is sponsored by BYD, Design, McGrath Mitsubishi, Liverpool Fit Investment Solutions, Saffron and Curry, Roxy Finance, and MKS Sports. And as always, everything media-wise is brought to you by All Star Media. So today I'll be joining the Lemon Tree Lions, and let's let them in and have a chat.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are we all?
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, going good.
We're all in Bangladesh.
Us three are in Bangladesh.
Oh, okay. All right. So you three, can you just introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yes.
Yeah, you start.
All right. So hi guys, I'm Noor. I'm the team manager of Lemon Tree Lions for this season. Unfortunately, I won't be playing this season. I suffered an ACL injury, so I'll just be on the sidelines cheering the team on and managing the team.
Cool. So my name is Mohammed Jakaria. I am just one of the players in BCL. We all formed the team, I think, last year. So yeah, just playing cricket with a couple of the boys and trying to have some fun. So yeah.
And my name is Mohammed Jawad. I was one of the founders of the team with Aiheak and Noor. And I'm hoping to do a bit better this year and see how we go.
And down over here, we've got our new team member and mentor from Sydney Brothers. Take it away.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. It's Samin. I'm new to Lemon Tree Lions. I'm new to cricket as well. I'm keen for my first keen to have some fun with the boys.
Thank you, guys. So Mohammed and Jawad, is it okay if I just call you Jakaria and Jawad? Is that?
Yeah. We got the same name.
Okay, all right.
No, that's how
that works.
Yeah. Okay. So you three, obviously Lemon Tree Lions made their debut in community cricket with the BCL last year. Just in case anyone forgot, what actually brought about the Lemon Tree Lions, and so what made you decide the BCL was a tournament for you guys?
So a lot of us, we played community football together. But when we were younger, we started with cricket in our neighborhood. So the football bit didn't really go too well, so we decided to go with cricket next.
Which also didn't really go too well so far, but
so it's very different sports. Yeah. So we knew about the boys like Samin and stuff playing for Sydney Brothers. So that's how we knew about BCL, and we decided to join the league because we saw that it was pretty well run. And then we got in contact with organizers and we went from there.
Okay. And look, you guys didn't have the best run in BCL, but what did you guys learn from that first outing together, your debut as a team in a tournament?
Yeah, so the first season for us was really just shaping how each player went. So, for example, Mohammed Jakaria, he thought he was, like an all-rounder, initially thought he could bowl and all that. But then recently we've seen that he's actually very, talented in batting. So we've actually put him up the order. With Mohammed Jawad as well, we've seen improvements in batting as well. But then also we didn't know that he could bowl, and then we've also put him into bowling as well. So the first season was more so like a run through of how everyone would be, giving everyone a turn. But this season we're coming with more structure, more knowledge of how everyone is. So with that knowledge, we're going to place everyone in the team accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, last year we saw some standout performances from Ishraq and Sadin especially. I think Ishraq went on to play a few games for the Gladiators as well in that last tournament they played, I think the BD Gold Cup, where he was scoring a few runs as well. Have you guys found anyone else amongst your squad that, you spoke about Jakaria being a better batsman. Have you guys found anyone else to add to your lineup within your lineup?
Yes. So recently, our last match, which we played in the BSL. We had a very surprising batsman come in and bowler as well. His name is Faisal Ayub. He came in with 4 wickets, scored a 50 as well, and we almost won that game. Like I think it came down to the last over or so. That was the closest we've ever come to winning a game, to be honest. And that was our last game. So we're only going up and improving from here. So he's like a big addition, and he was like we didn't have Sidin or Ishraq that game as well. So initially we thought like we had doubts in that game. So, but then when Faisal pulled through, we're like, all right, like we do have people in this team as well, such as Faisal. And then Mursalin as well. Mursalin, he's also been very good with the ball as well, like improved so much with the ball from BCL last season to like now. He's been phenomenal.
I'd
He's
say
constantly good.
Sheaf out the main as well. He's been playing some crucial knocks. Whenever we have some massive collapses, he comes in and stabilizes the middle order and puts in a good shift, does a lot of running. So yeah, we do have a few players that can hold their own. But yeah, it's the next tournament. It's about making sure that the entire team performs equally, and then putting like better totals and better bowling performances, and hopefully win a match or two.
I mean, you line up like individually. You guys all have like a decent cricketing talent. Like I know Noah, you played a lot as a kid. Mashrook still, I feel like he's yet to put something on, but he's got potential. I think we all know that he's like just waiting to spark. Yeah, look, I hope you guys do have a more positive BCL this time around. I can see the work that you guys have put in. And there's rumors of some recruitments. We've got Samin as your. Is he a player or a coach, or what's going on here?
I
So-
think I can
Yeah, go on, Tariq. You got this.
I don't know. Like I'm here to have some fun with the boys. I've been playing like exclusively for Sydney Brothers for the last 4 years now, right? So it's going to be a very like different environment. Obviously, like getting to know the team, and then trying to figure out what each player's like strengths are and how we can try and manufacture the team's first ever dub. Yeah, look, honestly, if they told me to wicket keep, I'll wicket keep, right? I'm there to just have some fun, and yeah, I think it'll be a really exciting season. I actually follow the Lemon Tree Lions like all the games like on Crick Clubs. I'm like, bro, when's this win actually gonna happen? And what I've seen, looking at the numbers over time, like they got really close. I remember that one game in this past BSL, sorry. So yeah, I think a lot of it happens. If you start a brand new team with people even that have never played cricket, right? Even like training aside, like game experience is the biggest thing. And I think once you get that first win and you experience like what it takes, from there I think it only like gets easier. Everyone feels a bit more comfortable like in pressure situations. How to take like a 50-50 game to like a strong winning position, that's a big thing as well. So yeah, I think we're in for a fun ride, inshallah.
Brothers are still like a pretty new team in the community. Can you talk about that development process as well, and what the links you can see with the Lemon Tree Lions, and what maybe you as a player and maybe as a mentor to these boys can contribute to them to get their first win and to get that ball rolling, to get more wins?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a really fun journey. I think our first ever game we versed so Sydney Brothers. Who did we verse? I think it was it Bengal Tigers Wollongong, or was it? Yeah, I think it was Bengal Tigers Wollongong, right? And we bowled first, and they scored like 95, and we gave them like 40 extras, or 40 or 45 wides, right? So we've come a long way since then. Having played in our first grand final last year, we were runners up for BSL. Just lost by a really small margin against the Randwick Raiders, which is easily the strongest side in that comp. I think the things that are within your control, there's going to be some things that are sort of outside your control, especially in like a T20 format. We see in BCL, like it's common for batsmen to come out and just like start belting them left, right, and center, and when the right batsman gets their eye in, it starts getting really tough. So I think it's really important first to focus on what's within your control, and I think the number one thing for that is actually rocking up to training sessions. As Sydney Brothers, like we've trained probably as consistently as we possibly could in the time that we've been a team. Especially like during the competitions, like week in, week out, like training is an absolute must. And I think training like with a purpose as well. That's something that like sometimes you can just get in the habit of like, it's just another week. You like come into the nets, you do your batting, you do your bowling. I think if you just go in with like, oh, I'm just gonna train everything, you actually end up training nothing. So going into those training sessions with like a set plan, right? If you're a bowler, like you find one part of the deck, you're like, today in the training session, I'm probably going to get it through maybe 30, 40 balls. I'm just going to try and hit that one spot. Like, I don't care if the batsman knows that that's the thing that I'm trying to do and they smack it every time. The goal of the thing that I'm trying to develop is literally hitting that spot on the pitch. So doing that, as a batsman, it's like, okay, I want to improve my drives, right? You didn't even let your bowlers know, hey, this is what I'm going to try and do. And so, you practice your drives, bowler tries to bowl in a way that, they can try and prevent that. So I think having like structured training sessions where you actually have goals, that's really helped as a team as well. And yeah, just having fun throughout the process. I think just focusing on winning and lifting trophies. That's not really the right way to do it, especially, if you're playing like Sunday cricket. You work Monday to Friday, like if you're gonna play cricket on Sunday, like might as well have some fun,
Yeah.
Thank you, Sufi Pai. Maybe at the end of the podcast, we'll do a little nugget dance together.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a good dancer, don't worry.
okay, so the Lemon Tree Lions. Now that you've heard Samin's take on, what maybe you guys should do, how have you guys approached this BCL, and what's your prep look like through the last BSL and coming into this next tournament?
I think like Samin said, like one of our biggest shortfall was like the training aspect, because like things wouldn't line up. A lot of us stay not too close to each other, and so it was always very hard to get everyone together and just have like a good training session. And we never had like the structured training session. So for example, I've never actually played any type of cricket, so I don't actually know where mid off or mid on or any of that stuff is. I just know where cow corner is. I just go sit in the cow corner, and if I can catch a ball, I can catch a ball. But I think it comes down to like learning the whole game as a whole as well, like being able to understand like why the fielding's the way it is, and like not just going out and swinging a bat, which I usually do. So there's a lot of training that I have to do personally as well, and like within the team as well. So I think like we've already spoken about it, like a bigger thing for us is to be able to hold those training sessions and to be able to like work as a team as well. Like you guys mentioned as well, like individually we do have performances that are really good. Like Morse is a really, really good like spin bowler. He's also got like very good batting skills as well, but we just can't get that partnership going with like, let's just say like the top order, the mid order, like the lower order. So there's a lot of things to work on. I think there's a lot of things to just like sit down and talk about as well. So, but yeah, I think slow and steady, like you guys have seen, we're getting really, really close. Just can't get that last bit in to like get that like first win. So inshallah, it's coming this season. We've got, again, a little bit more experience coming into the team. And I think that's what we kind of need, a little bit more guidance in terms of like what we should be doing and what we're doing wrong and what we're doing right as well. Being more like supportive of each other and things like that as well. So yeah, hopefully a little bit more positivity, a little bit more like a lot more work to go into it. But yeah, we're looking forward to like this next season coming up. So,
and one thing I do agree with Simin is just the purpose of training. So we didn't really have that much purpose within our training for a while. We just go to the nets, get a batter in, get a bowler in, bowl whatever. Really good in the nets, but then come game day, we bowl 10 wides or 10 half trackers that go smash for 6 in an over or something like that. So that's something now we're working on. We're getting our bowlers now to really get into the net, not just bowl to a batsman, just bowl onto the deck, try to aim at that one area, as Simin said. That's something we've talked about and we're trying to get. One thing that has improved, but which in BCL that we've seen previously that has been really bad. Our catching has honestly been so good now recently. If you have seen our catching now in that BSL tournament and in just practice games now, it's gotten so much better. And that's because we've actually trained with purpose in practice games. We've trained with we've wanted to catch with purpose. Like we want to learn how to catch as well. That's something we needed to learn, and most of our team has now actually learned how to catch, which is a big step for us. So
Yeah, it was funny because we had a practice match and we didn't drop many catches. Like, we were pretty much taking more, and the opposing team was just like, these guys don't drop anything. And then we were all laughing because we had that one match in BCL where we dropped like 15 catches in one.
I think it was against Quick Bros.
Yeah. So we've come a long way in terms of that. So hopefully we can transfer that into our batting and bowling as well.
How have you guys found? So I'm not sure how. I don't know if Jacare, you played cricket before. Have you? No, sorry. Jawad. Did you play cricket before? Community cricket.
Just like park cricket. Never played proper cricket.
So Noor and Jawad, how have you found park cricket different to community cricket?
Man, look, community cricket, like we call it community cricket, but at the end of the day, it's like an actual cricket game. Like it's just being played at a lower level than what you see on TV, but it's still got the same rules. You still have to have the same skills and things like that. Like me and my brother here, like we never like played in a club to be able to develop those skills ever. Like I generally just stand and swing. Like there's more to batting than just standing and swinging. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot for me to be able to learn in that sense, and a lot for my brother to learn in that sense as well. And even like Noah was mentioning, like we were really bad at catching, and it was genuinely just the way we were positioning ourselves. That like little thing that we just never, learned or were told, because in park cricket, like you're just throwing, standing around, like having like a little bit of fun. But at the end of the day, yes, we are having fun, like playing Sunday cricket, but it is still more structured than what we were used to in like a park setting. So, we used to wrap up a tennis ball with like duct tape, and we just use that as a ball. Now we're using like actual proper balls, and they hurt. Like when you catch them, they hurt. So, it's a big change. So, but no, it's the transition has been a lot easier with a couple of the boys having a little bit more experience, like Noor, and like we had Fires, and like we mentioned Faisal as well. He's played a lot of cricket, like Fire, Ishrak, and Sudin as well. So like being able to learn from them has been a lot of help, and I guess that's what we hope to do from Samin. He's got a lot more experience than we do, and I was going to mention, like, we're coming up against players that have like 150 plus games in cricket clubs, whereas we just got like about 10. So there's like a big gap in experience there as well. So we're hoping to also make up that gap a little bit, like playing more games, and the in-game experience is, again, like it's a lot more useful than being able to just like stand there and listen to someone as well. So hoping to just play more games, get a lot better, and implement like the training and things like that as well. So, and learning my positions would be very helpful as well, because I'd just be getting people to like point to where I need to go, and that's about it.
I think one main difference as well with park cricket, like the bowler, like in community, like obviously in BCL and stuff, they can look at you as a batter and know how to get you out. Like they can adjust, and like they can see your stance. They can see like if you're looking a bit shaky, know how to bowl to you, right? In park cricket, it's just whatever. Like you don't have to worry about all that. But there's like a whole new dimension when it comes to community cricket that we have never experienced, are learning about, which hopefully we can tackle.
And especially in like our community cricket as well, it's not just like random players that just play like Sunday and all that. These players are really good as well. Like they understand how to play. They've been playing for 10 plus 15 plus years. So that's a difference as well. Yeah, park cricket has those types of teams, but the lower level park cricket teams, they just they just form teams randomly, whereas these teams have, like community cricket, have played 15 plus years. So that's honestly a big difference, the match experience from these teams compared to park cricket teams.
I think Ishrak, when he got scouted for the Gladiators in the last BD Gold Cup, he went on to score, I think, 2 or 3 50s for them. Has he been able to bring back some experience or some tips to you guys to say, look, this is how we should approach batting as a team?
For Ishrak, so I feel like he's the type of batsman that's very individualistic, and that's every team has that kind of player where they're good in terms of like for themselves, but to teach others, he might not be like the best at teaching us, of course. But there are other people that have taught us, that have improved. For us, what we want from Ishrak is just to improve on himself, to keep getting those runs, to be that player, that star player, as we've actually positioned him in for that long. So, because once he focused on us, we've seen like some kind of pattern that he takes like a toll on his own batting. So we don't want that to happen. For the best of the team, we want him to focus on himself and really score those runs. So we've taken direction from other people, but for him, we've allowed him to be in his own lane and perform.
And again, you'll see like he's playing for Gladiators, who is a little bit more experienced than obviously us, and him having that support around him and him having that individuality, like him being able to go out there and do what he needs to do, he was able to like score that much runs. But if he's on the field like trying to like carry us as well as himself, I think that's where a lot of strain comes in, and like he can't really fully focus. So that's what, again, like we need to try and work on in terms of like partnerships and stuff as well. Like we need to be like more confident in each other as well. So that's where the partnership is where we're failing in terms of like having partnerships in batting. But we've seen a couple of games where like Sadin was doing really, really well. He scored a couple of 50s, and like he even went to score like 78 in one game as well. So I think we need to let these players like play their own game, and we need to carry ourselves a lot better as well. So up in the like aura.
So we shouldn't be putting too much pressure like on them to win us games.
Yeah.
Because that ends up like playing into their minds, and then they end up getting out on low scores, which ends up affecting us as
the rest of us, yeah, as well.
So yeah, if they perform well, the rest of the team ends up performing well, and so we have to support them in that manner.
Sam, so you and a few of the brothers are joining the Lemon Tree Lions. What are your targets for this BCL? And you yourself have been such a big part of the BCL, always I think in the top few batsmen. And the brothers have always been in the knockout stages as well. Who are you guys bringing, and what are you guys looking to do for the Lemon Tree Lions in this tournament?
I think from who we're bringing, I think there's Gaz, so Shea. I think there's Fahim, and then I don't know, guys. If you guys can confirm, is it just the three of us, or?
Yeah, it's the three of you guys.
Yeah, so the three of us. Look, I think in terms of targets, like there's no point stretching too far with targets and thinking, we're gonna come in and we're gonna lift the trophy. I think you got to take like a sort of iterative approach when it comes to team goals. And for a team like Lemon Tree Lions, where they haven't managed to win a game yet, the first goal, right, is to get that win, or at least get as close as possible to the win. Even if we play the first game and it ends up in a tie and it goes to a super over and you still lose, I feel like that's closer than you guys have ever been, right? I sort of go off like the strategy that myself and Raid, like when we bat together. If I just look at our previous season, we scored a lot of runs together, alhamdulillah. And what we did going into every game was just like, look, let's not think about what's going to happen in 15, 20, 25 overs. Let's just focus on 30 runs. And so our first milestone is always getting to 30. Right? Once we get to 30, we're like, okay, let's bring up a 50 partnership. We then go to 50, and then we go to, usually around that time, it'd be like 7-8 over mark. The next goal is let's make it to the drinks break wicketless. Because we know in a 25 over game, if we've got 10 wickets in hand at 12, 13 overs, and we've got Rax, we've got DB, Fahim, Ronak, etc. to come, we know we're in a strong position. So you got to take that little sort of like layered approach. So I think for Lemon Tree Lions, probably first like managing to secure that win. And I think it's going to require preparation, right? You don't rock up to the comp and then just be like, let's just try and win a game. Like everyone tries to do that, right? I think it'd be important for me to actually, train with the team beforehand. It'd be great if we get a practice game in, see where sort of some of the strengths and some of the weaknesses lie. And we can also reference some sort of previous scorecards for that sort of thing as well. And then once, inshallah, if we can get that first win from there, it's like, all right, let's just try and get another one and just try and get another one. I've seen in BCL, like I remember, I think both times when we played for Sydney Brothers, the first 2 BCL tournaments, like we started off with a loss and then we went on like a 5-game winning streak. Unfortunately, it didn't happen last year. I think last year was a bit different because there was a point where like in a whole month, like we played just 1 game because there was the like 4 nightly games for each team, because it was the first time they were doing like more than 10 teams. So it'll be good to see the sort of like the fixture and what the grouping and whatnot looks like. But if it's like week in, week out, especially like in these T20 comps, like if you can get that 1 win from there, like it's really easy to like build momentum. But it's sort of a on the flip side, like if you get a loss, it's sort of easy to get a bit stuck up in that, and have like a bit of like a losing streak as well. So yeah, I think that's the main thing. Like, don't aim too high straight away. Just focus, game by game, and that's pretty much it. I was also going to mention, I know you didn't ask this, but I saw a comment which was from Suburb, which is like, Lions, what can you teach us, experienced guys / teams in the league? Tell us what we can learn from you. The first thing that came to mind for me is like, I think one of the things I've seen in Lemon Tree Lions is that the camaraderie or the bond that is there between these guys, it has to be damn strong. Because with a lost record like this, I'm sure any team would just be like, we're calling it in. Like, we're gonna hang up the boots, right? I versed a team recently, and they took in a very experienced player. He's turned up in BCL before, but I won't say any names. But they sort of brought him in as a mentor, and like I was literally batting out there, and I heard the guy say, "Oh, you people." I didn't say people. He actually used a much not so nice word. He's like, "Oh, you people don't even deserve to go to playoffs," right? And that was just because there was like 3 or 4 overs where like, we smacked a few boundaries. So, I've heard, people even in their own teams, like say filthy stuff to each other. It's happening in BCL, happening in BSL, happening in like, all the different comps. And so for these guys to, go, like they've been playing for like a hockey playing, I think that's a really big thing that even like some really, really experienced players can definitely take out. There's definitely got to be respect within your squad, and these boys like clearly have it. Otherwise, they would have been like, "Nah, it's probably ain't it." So yeah.
And so I'll redirect that question again to you 3. What helps keep that camaraderie together? I know a few years grew up together as well, but yeah, what sort of helps that process of just being able to stick it through?
Look, I think it's just, we're always just honest with each other. Like, again, we've had fights within the team. Like, there's been like tension, and as you know, it's been probably the longest losing streak in this competition or history of like community cricket or something like that.
There's been worse.
But look, at the end of the day, like, the more important thing is that, look, it's, again, at the end of the day, we're just playing a game. We're not here to like just ruin friendships. We're not here to make enemies. Like, we formed this team to be able to have fun. At the end of the day, that's always going to be what we're going to try and do. Obviously, losing isn't fun, but getting close to winning for us was like the fun part. And we get really excited, like, hey, look, we did really well. Let's do it again next week. You know what I mean? So I think, and every week we always see like a star performance within the team and get like super excited. We're like, oh my God, like, let's go out for a feed after, like the little things, I think, is what kept the whole team together. And at the end of the day, like, we don't like go home and be like, yeah, shit, like, I'm gonna leave this comp now, because we all want to come back next weekend and again play another cricket match as well. So, and like you guys said, like, we're all pretty good mates. Mates always fight every once in a while, but we're mates. You're always gonna have fights, but we always get together and watch a movie or go get a feed after. So it's all fun and games at the end of the day. So I think that's how we've kind of just kept together. So, and
we all these like fights, they honestly just banter as well. If you've seen the stuff we say in that,
yeah,
it's pretty it gets pretty hectic, but
yeah,
it's banter, and we all take it. We don't take it that hardly. So
yeah.
So it's all right.
some get it more than others.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, that is very important Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not that deep. You're playing like It is a tournament, but it's just Sunday cricket. Like,
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's not that deep.
So, yeah,
Yes.
we're not
Yeah,
playing
that's not-
professional cricket, so
Yeah.
Look, before we go, I just wanted to make a honorable mention to your Instagram page. What is the story behind that, and how does the admin still have the energy to keep posting about your losses in such a comedic way?
I mean, do we
Look,
have
I think
any drama?
it's been a while since we've posted. It has been a very rainy time within the Lemon Tree Lions, but
you'll be
I think
back for BCL.
it definitely will be back for BCL. But again, it's the fun of it. Like we again clown each other a lot. I think that's like really really fun. There was a lot of golden duck memes going in there. Like man, we all copped a little bit. So we get to go back at the end of the day, go back home and just look at it and have a laugh. I think that's why that's just up there. And a couple for the memories. A couple of years later, we can have a look at it and be like, look, we're still getting ducks. Nothing's really changed. So I think that's just a couple of boys got together and said, look, have a little bit of banter, keep the fun alive within the team. So
All right. Look, I'll leave it there. I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you, boys. Thank you, Sam, for joining as well. And best of luck for the tournament. I really do hope you guys get your first win before that, maybe in a practice match somewhere, and then go on to have an impactful BCL and shock a few teams.
Thanks for hosting, bro. Nice to talk with you, boys. Inshallah, see you in the net sometime soon.
Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. So that was the Lemon Tree Lions. Please join us again tomorrow night for the next Meet the Team. Thank you.